Welcome back to the Please Suck Less podcast. So, a couple of things that are on my mind. It's going to take a little bit more of a political air to it, but it still has to do with fire rescue as well as emergency service workers. And I'd like to bring in, talk a little bit about the medical field with nurses in particular. I think we can both sides of the aisle can agree, or at least most people in this country can agree that the politicians, I don't care, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. They're not really working for us. I don't think that they're doing a decent job for us. I think most of them are just out for themselves. Some of you may wholeheartedly disagree. Some may wholeheartedly agree. That's just my personal view and what I've seen, what I've heard. I try to stay up to date on what's going on. I'm going to drill into local politics. Here in Maryland, I think that our political scene is kind of a shit show. I don't think that they have the best interests of anybody in the state, whether you're Democrat or Republican. Moreover, I want to talk about, how do I see them viewing the emergency services, police, fire, but I'm going to hone in a little bit more on fire, career and volunteer. I don't think that they've done enough to not only protect us, but to create more incentives to drive more people to this profession or to being a volunteer. We've seen the numbers slipping when it comes to recruitment on both sides, career and volunteer. And I just don't think that they're making it, I don't know, they don't make it, it's our responsibility to make it interesting to get the public there. But what I find is that, once you kind of dig down into it, career-wise, we make decent money, but our job is extremely dangerous. We all know the cancer risks, the mental health factor, the physical health factor that we face, and that goes career or volunteer. I do think that firefighters should be making more money for a starting salary for what they are called to do and not hesitating to do it. Same thing when it comes to the volunteer side. I mean, here you have individuals that are doing it for free, but the incentives just don't match up with what they're doing. In Maryland, we have what's called LOSAP, or the Length of Service Awards Program. And it's a state program, but it's based on the counties that you serve in. Some counties pay okay, some don't. And what that means is after you do 25 years, you get a stipend for the remainder of your lifetime. Some counties, it could be as high as $500 or $600 a month, which isn't bad. I mean, some it could be a little over $100 and some dollars. So it's all over the place. And I think that if it's a state-run program, then it needs to be run consistently, so all the states get it. The ages are all over the place. Montgomery County, the moment you hit 25 years, you automatically start collecting regardless of age. In Georges County, once you hit the age of 55 and you have the 25 years, you can start collecting. Other counties, it's 62, 65, so it's just not consistent. If you want to bring in more volunteers, you have to have more incentives. The reduction on the career side, elimination of state taxes on your pensions. You want people to stay in the state, to continue to purchase things in the state, like houses, groceries, vehicles, whatever. You want to collect that state revenue, well, you got to keep the people in the state. It's no surprise that the moment that firefighters from Maryland retire, they go to Delaware or Pennsylvania or Arizona or Tennessee, Florida, because they're not crushing them with the state taxes. You want to keep people in? Stop taxing their income tax. And that goes for police, fire, military, and nurses and nurse practitioners. You want to keep these people here? Stop charging them the income tax. Let their pensions be tax-free on the state side. One of the other things, I put an open letter out to Governor Wes Moore about 2 years ago. I don't expect him to answer me. I'm a nobody, but I am a tax-paying citizen. Basically, what I said is that it's a felony for somebody to put hands or to be violent with a firefighter. It is now a felony in the state of Maryland. But nurses, my wife's a nurse. She's been assaulted. She's been physically assaulted. She's been verbally threatened. Nurses all around the state, all around the country for that matter, have been assaulted, and there's zero things that get done about it. And you want to talk about a nursing shortage? You want to lose nurses? You're going to be in a world of hurt if you stop ignoring the things that they go through. My open letter was very simple. Make it a felony for anybody to lay hands on nurses. I don't care if they're a psychiatric patient. I don't care if they're Joe Blow off the street. You touch a nurse, it's a felony, just like the fire department. You need to get that shit straightened out. Ensure, I talked about the volunteers, make sure that they have the same protections that's guaranteed for the IAFF members, the union members on the career side. Presumption laws for cancer. We need to make sure that that's across the board, across the country. It doesn't matter what your pay status is. You still run the risk of getting cancer, whether you're a career or volunteer. It doesn't matter. The volunteers need to be protected just like the career people do. Local government needs to put more of an emphasis on recruiting and retaining. Like I said in the beginning of this, it's no secret. The recruitment numbers are down for the career side. Recruitment numbers are down on the volunteer side, but I will say that in my local fire department, we do bring in members on the recruitment side. The reason why we're having a problem retaining them is the length of hours that it takes just to be a firefighter that counts as staffing that can ride fire apparatus. Now, I'm not saying that we need to reduce or dumb down the fire classes. On the contrary, I think we need all the training we can get. But what I do think needs to happen, like in my state, the Maryland Fire Rescue Institute, start figuring out better ways to deliver the training. I've said this 1,000 times. I've wrote about it. I've said it on the podcast. I've said it. Anybody that'll listen. If COVID taught us one thing, it taught us that we are able to learn remotely. My kids had to go to school for a year using Teams or Canvas or whatever program that they were using, and they thrived. They did okay. Yes, one of us, either my wife and I or one of us, was always home to ensure that they stayed in class and they paid attention, but they got A's and B's. If we can do that for the adolescent learner, why the hell can't we do that for the adult learner? University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get an entire degree online. Why aren't we exploring those options for fire and rescue? I'm not saying that everything is done online. The practical stuff has to be done in person. But I'm going to say it right now, and I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it again. If you have a PowerPoint presentation that goes for 2 to 3 hours, why the hell do I have to get in my car, drive across town or across a county or into another county to sit in a classroom while the instructor fumbles through a 3-hour PowerPoint presentation and then go home? I could have done that in the comfort of my own home on my computer, and then close the computer and then be at home with my family. That would reduce the impact of that whole traveling and making it difficult to get members to take more training. Do that online. It can easily be done. There's no excuses. I think the money that it would cost would be minimal. I think that's something that needs to be explored. So again, ranting like I always do, but these are just some things that are on my mind. Politicians, get your shit together and start protecting the people that you're sworn to protect, just like we do in the emergency services. We take an oath, we protect the people. It doesn't matter what their political party is. It doesn't matter about race, religion, sex, creed, anything like that. We took an oath, we protect our people. Start protecting the firefighters. Maryland, stop taxing the firefighters' pensions. Okay, you want them to stay in the state? Stop taxing them. We're one of the highest tax states as it is. Cut us a break. Same thing for the police and military, as well as nurses. Make it a felony. If somebody touches somebody in the medical field, that's a felony. They get arrested, they go to court, they do jail time. End of story. Too many scary stories out there of nurses and doctors and practitioners being assaulted. It's bullshit and it needs to stop right now. And at the end of the day, training needs to find a new way. The old style is fine, but we need to find a new way if we want to retain volunteers to take more training, and a more trained fire service is a smarter fire service. That's all I got to say. You don't agree with me? You can send me a message, or you can send me something on social media. You can send me an email. If you agree with me, great. You can leave a comment below. I'm out.